Previously, I talked about the profound emotional impact on children that leaves them scared, confused, frustrated, angry, and sometimes blaming themselves for their parents' divorce and fearing that if their parents could stop loving each other, they could easily stop loving them as well. And that kind of thinking and those feelings actually create insecurity and anxiety as they blame themselves for the divorce. They may believe that their misbehavior, their actions, may have played a role in their parents' separation. And this brings about guilt. The self-blame can lead to feelings of guilt and shame that can linger after the divorce is finalized. And teenagers often experience anger and resentment, like I said previously, towards their parents for the upheaval in the family, which they can easily believe that the parents are responsible for the strain in the relationship. And whilst parents are busy fighting each other in the courts, fighting over custody, fighting over property, fighting over the children themselves, the kids get forgotten in the background. We are busy fighting each other over the child, and yet we ignore the very child that we fight over, their emotional and psychological well-being. And we focus on the stress we go through that we forget the children. And going through this emotional turmoil that we go through, that we experience, which often make us even forget that the kids also have emotions and they're also impacted by the separation and the divorce that we are going through and the fight that we are going through. Instead of drawing more closer and closer to the children, caring about what they feel about what is happening, we think, well, they're just too young to understand. And they only find out later when it's well done and over that daddy has moved out or mommy is moving out because we've gone through divorce, we separated. All along when we are going through this, we leave them out. It is crucial for parents to provide emotional support to their children during this challenging time. You're not the only one that is hurting. It's also important that you validate your children's feelings and reassure them the divorce is not their fault and it is not about them. And help them understand that you've grown apart and that sometimes adults along the way don't get along and things become more difficult to continue living together. Teach children coping strategies and problem-solving skills that can help to empower them to navigate the emotions, the roller coaster, the confusion that is associated with the divorce and the changing of the family dynamics, the family structure. Help them to adapt to the changes in their family structure that is going on, that is being brought about by the divorce. How can children cope with their parents' divorce? How do we help them as parents when we actually find it difficult communicating with them about what is going on? One, you can encourage open communication. Create a safe space for children to express their emotions and ask questions about the divorce. This has to be age appropriate. It depends on how old they are and how much they can understand. Explain what divorce means, what the separation means, what the implications are to their level. If they are too small, they may not understand. Listen attentively and provide age-appropriate explanation to help them understand the reasons behind the separation without going into the nitty-gritty. Establish routines and stability. Maintaining consistent routines and structures can help children feel secure and provide a sense of stability for them amidst these changes, these challenges, this confusion, this stress, and this frustration. This can include predictable schedules for visitation and co-parenting arrangements that you agree with. Become a team, even when you are going through divorce and you're not going to be living together. Become a team. Put the child's priorities first. Let the children's interests come first. In other words, sometimes there is no point in fighting over the children. Rather, agree on the visitation rights and on co-parenting. Do not badmouth each other or argue and fight over the kids in the presence of the children. Thirdly, seek professional support. If children are struggling to cope with the emotional impact of divorce, it may be beneficial to seek the assistance of a mental health professional. Seek help. Ensure that children go for counseling and talk to an experienced child psychologist that can help provide guidance, support, and assist you on how best to cope during this process and to be present for your child. Fourthly, encourage healthy coping mechanisms. Teach children healthy coping mechanisms, such as how they can engage in physical activities. They could use journaling. We call it Dear Diary. They could use drawing, art, painting, music, talking to a trusted adult, engaging in sporting activities. These strategies that are age appropriate can actually help them manage the stress and process their emotions in a constructive way in a safe environment. Don't have to fear asking you, Mommy, Daddy, what is divorce? Mommy, Daddy, if Daddy moves away, am I still going to be allowed to visit Daddy, or is Daddy still going to be able to spend time with me? Do not allow that to make you angry because you are angry with the dad and try to punish the father by denying them visitation. If a father is a responsible dad and does not bring any harm to the children, denying them visitation is counterproductive and hurts the child more than you can imagine. Validate, acknowledge their fears, the confusion, the anger, and the emotional impact of the divorce on your children. And with the right support and the right clinician, you should be able to help your child to navigate through the divorce process. If as an adult, the divorce is impacting you so negatively and bringing so much anxiety and stress and impacting on your health and your emotional well-being, how terrible could it be for the child? Think about that. The pain they may be going through. Some may not even be confident and assertive enough to be asking you about what they can easily see, feel, notice, and the tension that is in the air, that they can feel, and the changes that they see. Some wake up to realizing, oh, Daddy no longer lives with us, or Mommy no longer lives with us. That becomes a shock, and it creates trauma in the children. When we fight, let's consider the children's emotions and psychological well-being. When we hurt, let's consider the children's well-being, psychological well-being, and their emotions in the process as well. Remember, if the family separates and you're going through divorce, the children are feeling divorced as well in the process. Until next time, thank you